How's it going, y'all? Today I'm going to be finding out the answer to a very important question. What pairs best with Cachaça, Brazil's national liquor? Is it Monster or Red Bull? I don't know, but I am very excited to have a full-fledged answer to that question by the end of this video today. But what is Brazil's national liquor, Cachaça? Well, it's a type of liquor from Brazil made with fermented sugarcane juice. And it's a type of liquor that I've tried before and that I enjoy quite a bit. But I will acknowledge that Cachaça has a unique flavor to it, a flavor that will not pair the greatest with everything by any means. And so as such, I'm not sure which of these two energy drinks it's going to pair the best with, but I'm very excited to find out. I want to drink some good mixed drinks today. I want to enjoy some alcohol today, and I want to have a good time, and I'm looking forward to having this experience, and I'm looking forward to drinking a little bit of alcohol. For the Cachaça I have with me today, I chose the Cachaça 51, which is one of the most popular varieties and brands of Cachaça within Brazil. Some even describe it as being the Coca-Cola of Cachaça. And my plan for this video is very simple. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pour just a little bit of Cachaça into my glass I have with me today. And then after that, I'm going to figure out which of these two I want to start with. And I'm going to top off the rest of the Cachaça with that energy drink I choose. And I'm going to drink it and let you guys know what I think of it and how it is. And once I'm done with that drink, I'll then crack open the next energy drink. And I will repeat the same process again. And after I have two drinks, I think I might have one more of the one I like most. And then after that, I will have my answer that I posed with the title of this video in regards to which is best with Brazil's national liquor, Cachaça, Monster, or Red Bull. I do suppose without further ado though, I should probably go ahead and actually pour myself a small glass of Cachaça. So let's go ahead and put my cup down. Let's go ahead and get the lid off of my Cachaça 51. And let's go ahead and pour myself just a little bit of a drink real quick. I do think what are we thinking? Is that enough? That is not nearly enough. I absolutely need more than that. That's not nearly enough. I need at least double that. But I want to make sure I don't overpour, so I'm being a bit careful with my pouring today. And just taking a look. Will that work? Will that be good? Maybe. No, I'm going to go with this. So it's right about there. It's about the length of my thumb. It's about the length of my pinky. So we'll go with that. I have a rough unit of measurement for the amount of liquor that I have in my glass right now, so I know how much liquor I need for the next drink. And now I need to figure out what energy drink that I have with me today I want to drink first. Which one do I want to make my first drink with? Red Bull or Monster? I've got two options, two choices. Which one do I want to have first? I kind of want to start off with the Red Bull, I will acknowledge. I haven't had a Red Bull in a while, so I think I might just take a sip of the straight Red Bull first, especially since I have never had Brazilian Red Bull before, so I think that's probably a good idea. And then I'll go ahead and pour some into my glass right here. So yeah, let's go ahead and grab the Red Bull I have with me today. And let's go ahead and crack it open. And let's go ahead and smell it real quick and take a quick sip. Smells like Red Bull, I'll acknowledge. Doesn't smell any different than normal. And this Red Bull, in my opinion, oh man, I think it honestly, compared to American Red Bull, where is this made? I don't know where this is made, but I really do feel like this tastes slightly different than Red Bull from the United States. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just been a minute since the last time I had any Red Bull. But I feel like this tastes different, a little bit more intense flavor-wise. And I feel like the taurine flavor is a little bit more intense as well. And I feel like there's just a little bit more upfront flavor, a little bit more citrusy, a little bit more almost sort of lemonade-y to an extent. Very interesting. Okay, all right. So this is a little bit different, I feel like, at least, than what I've had before in regards to Red Bull. just because it is Brazilian Red Bull rather than being from the American market where I'm from. Well, let's go ahead and pour my glass full of some Red Bull, just like that. Gonna put that much in, and let's go and put my can back where it was, and let's go ahead and just smell this real quick. Can I smell the Cachaça, or does the Red Bull completely cover it up? Let's find out. Smelling this, honestly, the Red Bull does a very good job of covering up the entirety of the smell of Cachaça, I will acknowledge. Wow, that is really just straight Red Bull. Wow, I'm honestly kind of surprised. I'll acknowledge. I mean, like, I've had a vodka Red Bull before. I've had a Red Bull Everclear before. And both times in that scenario, I believe the liquor kind of showed through a little bit more smell-wise, but that's not really what I'm having happen today. Maybe it's because of the amount of liquor I used. I thought I used a good amount. Maybe I didn't. I'm not sure, but either way, yeah, I'd have to say I'm getting a little bit of Cachaça smell, but one, it's kind of disappearing into the smell of the Red Bull because, honestly, the smells combine together pretty well, and two, it's just a very mild smell as a whole, I'll acknowledge. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and take a sip of my first ever Red Bull and Cachaça, and let's go ahead and get to drinking. Yes, sir, you know what I'm saying. Oh, wow. Okay. Huh. That's interesting. So the Red Bull does a really good job at smoothing out the taste of the Cachaça. Not such a great job at entirely covering it up by any means. Now, I'm not a very big fan of the flavor of vodka or Everclear, I'll acknowledge, and that's what I've had with Red Bull before in mixed drinks. I've had a vodka Red Bull before, I've had an Everclear Red Bull before. Both times, I didn't really like them very much because I was like, man, the Red Bull just does not do a good job covering up the flavor of the liquor. And since I'm not a flavor of the liquor beneath the Red Bull, of course I'm not going to be a fan of the mixed drink. Thing is, though, I actually really like the flavor of Cachaça, and the Red Bull, while it doesn't completely cover up the flavor of the Cachaça, that's actually kind of what I want from this mixed drink, because I kind of want the flavor of the Cachaça to shine through just a little bit more so than not, because I actually do like the flavor of Cachaça. Huh, okay. Interesting. So yeah, definitely in like the back of my throat, there's the slightest bit of that Cachaça flavor, a little bit of fermented sort of sugarcane, a little bit of banana kind of thing going on with some other fruity flavors. But the fermented sugarcane flavor really combines very well with the just normal sugar flavor of the Red Bull. And that sort of banana, other fruits flavor combines extremely well with the citrusy flavor of the Red Bull as well, kind of thing. I'll acknowledge, I haven't had the greatest experience with Red Bull mixed drinks in the past, but I think it's possible, at least, that the issue hasn't been the Red Bull. I think the issue, possibly, was the liquor I was using instead. I didn't think about it like that, but actually that kind of makes a lot of sense. That really does kind of make a lot of sense, in all honesty. I guess it shouldn't be terribly surprising that if you use a bad liquor, you're going to get a bad mixed drink. Or just a liquor that doesn't pair well or taste good with whatever you're mixing in it, you're going to get a bad mixed drink. I always just thought vodka Red Bulls were just kind of something people drank and they didn't enjoy the flavor of, but now I realize you can actually enjoy the flavor of a Red Bull mixed drink. It's not a bad mixer. It's just a bad mixer with vodka, honestly, in my opinion. And I have heard that Cachaça Red Bulls are pretty common mixed drinks that some individuals have here in Brazil. Cachaça is, I would have to say, more affordable than vodka here in Brazil, and so it really does make sense that it might be an alternative to vodka for energy drink mixed drinks, I will acknowledge. And honestly, I think it's a better alternative. I think Cachaça and Red Bull is far superior than a vodka Red Bull. I'm just going to be straight up. I think it's better. I think it's better. This is quite nice. Yeah, no, this is really solid. This is really good. Honestly, I'm impressed. I can definitely, I'll admit, I can definitely taste a little bit of the liquor in the back of my throat, but really not much. Really not much. And overall, this is a very pleasant mixed drink as a whole. This is a very pleasant mixed drink, one that I'm enjoying right now, and I'll admit, one that I would readily have again. Would I drink another Cachaça Red Bull again in the future? Yeah, honestly, absolutely I would. I totally would. I can't see myself going for this all the time. The mixed drinks I have generally tend to be mixed drinks that completely cover up the flavor of the alcohol or let it shine through to the fullest degree. I don't really go for that in between very much, and that's kind of what this mixed drink is, I'll acknowledge. But I can totally see myself having this again. This is a solid mixed drink. Now, I don't want to give this mixed drink a rating yet. I don't want to because, excuse me, we've still got the monster to go through. But what I will say is that this is solid, and I'm going to drink the rest of this. Oh, yeah. No, that is quite nice. That is quite nice. Wow. Yeah. No, genuinely. No complaints on my behalf. This was really solid. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my water I have right here, and I'm going to go ahead and just rinse out my glass real quick. Want to make sure I'm not getting the flavor of Monster and Red Bull confused or anything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and just put that right there, kind of swirl it just a little bit kind of thing, and I'm going to do that. Just clean out my drink a little bit. We got a little bit of water in there, but, you know, it ain't no biggie. It ain't no biggie. A little bit of water ain't never hurt nobody. A little bit of water ain't never hurt nobody, but a lot of water has definitely hurt people before, I will acknowledge. That is something I can say with 100% certainty. And wow, yeah, that first drink, I'm not going to lie, definitely got me a little bit of a buzz. I'm feeling like just a little bit of a buzz right now. Like I'm like 2, 3 out of 10 kind of thing. I'm feeling just a slight little bit of a buzz. I'm feeling buzzed enough to know that I'm buzzed and to enjoy what I'm doing, but sober enough to realize that I'm buzzed while doing it. Or how did Jim Leahy say it? I can't remember. I was trying to reference Trailer Park Boys there. That is such a goated quote, I will acknowledge. But let's go and pour myself another drink, and let's go and try a Monster and Cachaça now. So let's go ahead and take my drink, or my drink. Let's go and take my liquor. I'm getting more jumbled up. I am definitely getting a little bit buzzed. And let's go and pour myself a little bit of a glass. I think more than that. And what are we thinking? Is that about right? That is probably about right there. So I'm going to go with that much. I think that should do. And I am going to go ahead and crack open my Monster that I have with me today, which is just a standard Monster. That is one thing I forgot to mention. This is just standard Red Bull, standard Monster. Now, due to the fact that I've never had Brazilian Monster before, I do think it is only proper to take a little bit of a sip of the Monster I have with me today before I go ahead and add any into my mixed drink. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. But let's go ahead and crack it open, smell it, see if it smells any different than the American Monster I'm used to. Excuse me. And overall, I'm going to be honest, it smells exactly the same. Let's take a sip. And overall, I'm going to be honest with you, it tastes exactly the same too. Smells the same, tastes the same. Let's go and pour it in. Alright. Now, with my second drink made, let's go ahead and take a little bit of a smell. So with this one, I would say the smell of Monster is a little bit more intense than the smell of Red Bull was with the first drink I had. There's also a little bit more carbonation I'm noticing. In my opinion, Monster is generally more heavily carbonated than Red Bull after all. And I would have to say with this one, you can definitely smell a little bit of the Cachaça underneath, but not all that much. It's there, don't get me wrong. A little bit of the Cachaça smell, definitely there, no question in my mind, but it's not super intense by any means, and it is a very mild smell by all means. Let's go and take a sip of my first ever Cachaça and Monster, and let's find out just how it is. Cheers, y'all. I would say initially, right off the bat, I would have to say the Monster is doing a marginally better job at covering up the flavor of the Cachaça than the Red Bull. But you can definitely still taste a little bit of the Cachaça in there. Once again, just like the Red Bull, it's kind of an undertone. There's that citrusy and sort of, I guess there's guarana in the Monster as well. As we can see right there, it says guarana. So I guess there's that in the Monster as well. And so there's that sort of citrusy, slightly almost sort of like, I would say like ginger ale flavor kind of going on in there, in my opinion, with the Monster. And that's definitely doing a good job of covering up the flavor of the Cachaça, but it's nothing crazy. It's nothing crazy by any means, but it's doing a good job, and I would have to say it is covering up the flavor of the Cachaça more than the Red Bull was doing. But once again, the flavor of the Cachaça, it's there at the bottom. You can taste it. The Monster smooths it out. It's not rough by any means in any way, shape, or form, but you can taste it a little bit. Once again, the sort of fermented sugarcane juice flavor kind of disappears just very easily, very well into the sugary flavor of the Monster. And the sort of fruity nature of the Cachaça flavor kind of disappears into the citrus fruitiness of the Monster as well. You know, I gotta admit, this is gonna be kind of hard to answer because both of the Red Bull and both of the drinks I've just drank, not that I finished this one off yet, but both of the drinks I'm having right now are like really very solid. And honestly, it's kind of hard to put one above the other right now, at least. I'm gonna have to think about this. I might have to have a third or a fourth or a fifth or a sixth or a seventh or a sixth or a seventh, 6, 7. I might have to have a few more drinks. Not that I'll complain, because I want some alcohol. Got to make sure I don't have too much alcohol, though, because I have a flight at 1 a.m. tonight. Less than 12 hours from now, I have a flight, and I don't want to be hungover off the caffeine and sugar on my flight. So I do need to make sure I don't drink too much, but just a little bit of alcohol should do. But overall, this is very pleasant. This is very nice, and I have no complaints on my behalf. None. Not at all. No, this is the Monster and Cachaça is really good. Honestly, yeah, Red Bull Cachaça, Monster Cachaça, they're both really good. In my opinion, the Monster definitely covers up the flavor of the Cachaça a little bit more than the Red Bull. But other than that, the flavor and how the flavors come across, excuse me, it isn't like insanely different by any means. It's similar flavors. I'm gonna be honest. The flavors from both, I mean, like the Monster and the Red Bull, both of these, I don't know. I feel like the normal Monster and the normal Red Bull kind of taste a little bit more different in the United States, but they kind of taste super similar here for some reason. Maybe it's just because I'm drinking them back to back. I have no idea. but they do kind of taste really similar here. Not exactly sure why, though. But I would say the flavor has a little bit more of an intense, or the Monster has a little bit more of an intense flavor, and so it covers up the flavor of the Cachaça more than the Red Bull. But the Cachaça pairs great with both, and so kind of how I'm feeling right now is that it kind of just depends on what you want from your mixed drink. Do you want a mixed drink that covers up the flavor of the Cachaça more? Then go with Monster. Or do you want a mixed drink that lets the Cachaça flavor shine through a little bit more? Then you're going to want the Red Bull kind of thing. I'm like, honestly, right now I'm kind of feeling that both are equally good as mixers with Cachaça. You don't really want one over the other. It's not like one is bad and one is good. It's just kind of, they're both good. It's just in different ways kind of thing, which is not what I was expecting. I was expecting there to be kind of a more definitive answer, I'll acknowledge, but that is not at all the case with this experience today. I'm not getting a definitive, this is good, this is bad. It's just kind of, this is different, which is interesting. Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, I would say the Red Bull lets the Cachaça flavor shine through just a little bit more than the Monster, but it's not significant. It's not significant. And honestly, I'm like, I think the best way to put it is if you want to mix Red Bull or Monster with Cachaça, choose your favorite energy drink. If you prefer Red Bull, choose Red Bull. If you prefer Monster, choose Monster. If you just want the cheapest option, go for Monster, because Monster is almost always going to be cheaper than Red Bull. Yeah. I mean, like, right now, I'm kind of feeling Monster just because Monster is my personal preference. I'm really not much of a Red Bull person when it comes to mixed drinks, I will acknowledge. But I don't know. It's really hard to say. I think another mixed drink is necessary, I will acknowledge. Y'all heading out? Have fun, have fun. No shoes? Oh, you're walking on the pavement? Oh, that's true, yeah. Have fun. I'll be here. Or I'll be on the beach. Might walk somewhere, not sure. Have fun. I'll get the door. You got it? Okay. But yeah, I do think, just had to cut the video there. Only the biggest ball of moves. I do think another drink is necessary, though, I will acknowledge. Do I have enough Red Bull to have another drink? I really don't think I do, but I'm just going to finish off the entire can of Red Bull because I don't want to let any go to waste. So I'm going to pour myself just a very small mixed drink while having one of these. While having one of these, I will acknowledge. So let's go ahead and grab this real quick, and let's go ahead, excuse me, and get this going. Let's go and mix myself just an extremely small mixed drink. I said a very small mixed drink, not a big one. Just finishing off the can of Red Bull. I think I could have added a little bit more Cachaça than that, but we will. But yeah, honestly, the answer to this question is actually really difficult to say. Just because, honestly, it really comes down to just what you prefer. Do you prefer Red Bull? Then go for Red Bull. Do you prefer Monster? Then go for Monster. Honestly, both Monster and Red Bull pair equally as fantastically with Cachaça. They both pair very nicely. And while there's some differences, don't get me wrong, in my opinion, Red Bull allows the flavor of the Cachaça to shine through just a little bit more than Monster does. Other than those slight differences kind of thing, they're equally as good. Yeah, no. Both are good. I guess that kind of is an answer in of itself now, isn't it? Like, but at the same time, the question posed at the beginning of this video was, which is best? Not, are they equally as good? So I kind of need to give a distinct answer. I need to choose just one of them. Which is better, Red Bull or Monster? I can't just say, they're both really good. No, I have to say, which is best? Because that's the question I posed at the beginning of this video. I was kind of short-sighted, I'll acknowledge. I should have thought that maybe they would be equally as good and just pose the question, is it good? Rather than which is best. So, you know, this has been an educational experience. That's something to keep in mind for the future, I'll acknowledge. But, you know, lesson learned. And I'm in this situation I'm in right now. So I've got to give an answer as to which is best. What can I say? Second, Red Bull Cachaça mixed drink. It just tastes like straight Red Bull because I really did not add much Cachaça at all, I will acknowledge. But there is a little bit in there, just the tiniest amount. Overall, I will acknowledge, I think for me personally, I prefer Monster and Cachaça mixtures, just because I prefer the taste of Monster, in all honesty. It is really as simple as that. However, honestly, if you prefer Red Bull, I think that's going to be the better option for you. It really does, frankly put, come down to personal preference, I will acknowledge. It really does. What time is it? Just looking at the time. It's 4:54. In 6 minutes, there's a FIFA World Cup game going on. It's going to be Brazil versus Norway. And so it's going to get very quiet in a few minutes, but at the same time, it's going to get very noisy at specific points. Every time Brazil scores a goal, it's going to get very noisy, and it's going to be really noisy, which I love. I love the enthusiasm around soccer, also known as football around here. I love the enthusiasm. I love the enthusiasm, and it's very surreal to be in such a enthusiastic area about sports, because where I'm from in the United States, it's like we don't have like but one major sports teams, which actually is a really good sports team. Like, as of the last couple years, shout out the Carolina Hurricanes. Never been to one of their games before. I probably should go though, because they like won the Stanley Cup. They've actually been doing really good the last couple years. Surprisingly good, I gotta admit. There's technically the Carolina Panthers too, but nobody takes them seriously. I'll be eating those words if they ever win anything. But Carolina Hurricanes are the ones that's closest to me. But there's not nearly the same enthusiasm for football or hockey or soccer or any sort of sport in my local area as there is for soccer/football here in Brazil. The level of enthusiasm is genuinely insane, and it's really cool to see. It's really cool to see. I love seeing it. It's awesome. Even the birds are excited. Gotta admit, though, I am getting a buzz. The sugar, the caffeine, the energy in the mixed drinks I've been having, it's quite nice. I'm not feeling too buzzed by any means, which is good because I don't want to feel too buzzed. I don't want to be hungover on the plane. That does not sound like headache. Not feeling good on the plane? No, thank you. No, thank you. I am all good. I try to feel as good as I possibly can on the plane because, yeah, planes. I'm sitting in a seat for 7 hours, and that's just the first flight, and then I've got another 5 hours on my second flight tonight. So, or I guess technically tomorrow, isn't it? But yeah, I don't want to be feeling hungover on the plane, so I'm gonna be careful with how much I drink during this video. I'd go crazy with it, but like low-key, I also woke up with a hangover last night. My hangover is absolutely, no question, gone. Completely gone now. Once again proving that the best cure for a hangover is more alcohol. And that's how the alcoholism starts, baby. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But before I go ahead and mix up my next drink, I do want to grab myself a thumbnail for the video. How I want to grab my thumbnail, that's something I need to think about. My camera is like all the way over here. I can't even reach my camera. That's how far it is away from me. So I do need to think about how I'm going to get a thumbnail. How do I want to do this? I'll put my cup over here, and I will go ahead and burp real quick. Excuse me. And maybe I want to do like that with, oh yeah, this could work. Okay, I do like one of these where I pick up both cans with one hand, but the logos, I want to make sure they're matching. They're kind of lined up. Oh man. Okay, let's think about this. Okay, so that, and then like that. I'm just looking in my camera screen just to try to get it perfect. Is that good? I need to mix, turn that way a bit, and that's a little bit more, I think. There we go, like that. A little bit more. Yeah, that's looking good. That's looking good. All right, let's go with that. My hands are starting to get tired, but I'm like, I don't feel like we got in a thumbnail yet. I'm buzzed. Oh, man. Okay. Let's hope that one of those works. I have tired arms now, and I am also going to set up my drinks like this right here as well. And I'm just gonna go like that. Those birds be going. Oh, and the FIFA World Cup match has started. I don't think Brazil has scored a goal yet, otherwise I'd be able to hear it. If I start hearing air horns and fireworks, I know what's happened. And that's not an understatement, by the way. I'm rooting for Brazil. I'm rooting for Brazil. I'm in Brazil. I'm only rooting for Brazil. No Norway here. I hope Norway... No. I'm not going to say I hope Norway loses, but I hope Brazil wins. But I hope they have a good game as a whole. Of course, of course. I really shouldn't be saying that. Last time somebody said that, their name was Elmo and their head got put on a stake. So, I shouldn't be saying that. Let's pour myself another drink. I hope Brazil wins. That's the side I'm choosing. For Brazil versus Norway. Shout out Brazil. Brazil, y'all got this. Win the match, baby. Got cable TV at the Airbnb. Low-key, if the match is still on after this video, I might turn it on and see who's winning and stuff like that kind of thing, rather than checking on my phone. Because I've been checking on the FIFA World Cup matches on my phone, but I haven't really been watching any of the matches. I watched a little bit of one match because it's playing while I had the TV on, but I didn't really watch like any of the other matches, so maybe I'll turn it on. I don't know. Buzzed watching. I'm starting to hear yelling in the background. Maybe something happened. I'm not sure. But I'm not sure. I have no idea. Excuse me. I love the enthusiasm for sports around here. Brazil, soccer is a very serious thing here. I'm rooting for Brazil during this match. I might not be watching it right now. I'm just drinking alcohol and sitting outside chilling. But only the biggest baller moves here. I'm rooting for Brazil. Yeah, it is really hard to say which of the two is actually better, though. Like, which is best for mixing with Cachaça? Red Bull or Monster? Having had two mixed drinks of Red Bull with Cachaça, and now almost 1.5 mixed drinks of Monster with Cachaça, I'm still no closer to answering this question than I was after just my first 2 drinks, kind of thing. Like, I'm just about through my 4th drink, and I'm still not any closer to answering this question. But after this drink, I will have to answer this question. Because I need to take a piss. I need to go to the bathroom. So, I need an answer to this question. And I think my answer is going to be Monster. I think Monster is better with Cachaça. Personally, I think the flavor of the Cachaça pairs a little bit better with the flavor of the Monster, just personally speaking. It's like equally as good between the two, but it's just the slightest bit better with Monster in my personal opinion. I think the flavor of the Cachaça also disappears into the flavor of the Monster a little bit better than the Red Bull, which for an energy drink mixed drink is kind of what I want personally. So personally, I'm going to have to say, which is better with Brazil's national beverage, Monster or Red Bull? I'm going to have to say Monster. Monster is my choice for this experience today. And that is my answer to the question posed by the title of this video. That's the question. That's the answer to the question I posed at the beginning of this video, to say that another way. Yeah, no, I'm going to have to say Monster. If I was going to choose Red Bull or Monster for a Cachaça mixed drink, I think I'm going to go Monster. I think I'm going to go Monster, I'll acknowledge. But yeah, my answer to the question posed at the beginning of this video as to which is better with Cachaça, Brazil's national liquor. Which is better? Monster or Red Bull? It's Monster. It's Monster. Not because it is truly, legitimately better, I do want to acknowledge, but instead because it's just more to my personal preference. The true answer as to which one is better is just honestly whichever one you prefer. If you prefer mixed drinks made with Red Bull, if you prefer Red Bull, you're probably going to like Red Bull more. If you're personally a Monster person, I think you're going to prefer Monster. And since I am more of a Monster enthusiast myself, I do tend to prefer Monster over Red Bull the majority of the time. I do think my answer is Monster, but your answer may very well be Red Bull. And that's kind of my answer to the question posed at the beginning of this video today. Which is better, Monster or Red Bull? Hard to say. Both are good. But personally, due to the fact that I prefer Monster, and I think the flavor of the Monster covers up the flavor of the Cachaça just a little bit more, It's to my preference. And so which is best with Brazil's national liquor? Cachaça. It's Monster. It's Monster. And that's just kind of my take, I will acknowledge. That's just kind of my take. But I have a little bit of Monster left. Maybe I'll have one final drink. You know, I could go for a little bit more. So maybe I'll have just a little bit more. Maybe I'll have just a little bit more. It's tempting. It's tempting. And I'm hearing lots of yells in the background of the video, which makes me think that something is going on with the soccer match. I don't know what's happening right now. If y'all are watching this video and y'all were watching the soccer match and you've like lined up like when the soccer match started to the video, y'all probably have like a play-by-play of the yells in the background of what is going on kind of thing. I don't know what's going on right now as of recording this video though. But I figure something's going on. Just, I'm hearing birds. I'm hearing people talking. I'm hearing very loud talking. It's kind of quieted down. So I don't think too much is going on right now. Okay, all right. Let's drink some alcohol. I don't know if the camera picked that up. I don't know if my microphone picked that up. But there was just an air horn in the background. I'm going to assume Brazil just scored a goal. I have no idea if they did, but I just heard an air horn in the background. I'm going to assume they did. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Big ball of moves, Brazil. Get them goals. Win the FIFA World Cup, baby. My bets are on Brazil. And there was a secondary air horn going on as well. It was a bit far off in the distance, but it was there. It was there. I'm hearing very enthusiastic talking right now. I'm just going to hazard a guess that Brazil may have very well just scored a goal. I'm not sure, but I'm just going to hazard a guess. You know, I gotta admit, though, it's just kind of hard to say. As an American, I feel like I should be rooting for Team USA in the FIFA World Cup kind of thing, because the USA is still in the FIFA World Cup as we're recording this video, which is kind of crazy. So I feel like I should be rooting. I think America is still in the World Cup. Honestly, I haven't been paying attention to where America is. I've just been paying attention to Brazil since I'm here. But I think they're still in the World Cup. So, like, as an American, as somebody born and raised in the U.S. of A., it's like I want to root for my home team. But on the other hand, I'm like, Brazil. I don't know. If it comes to be USA v Brazil, I'm gonna have quite the dilemma on my hands. I'll acknowledge. I will have a very large dilemma on my hands. But that was the last drink of the video. I finished off both cans of my energy drinks, which honestly I was not expecting to do. I am feeling quite buzzed right now. Good amount of alcohol in my system. Definitely a good amount of caffeine. I just drank 2 energy drinks. I'm starting to feel them heart palpitations, you know what I'm saying? That's a joke, I'm not. Although that is something to be concerned about if you do drink too many alcohol and energy drinks. And I'm feeling good right now. And now that I finished off my final drink, I feel like I had a burp. Excuse me. Now that I finished off my final drink of the video, I do think it's time to go ahead and say what my answer is to the question posed in the title and at the beginning of this video. Which is better with Cachaça, Brazil's national liquor, Monster or Red Bull? Really depends on what you prefer, honestly. It really does. Both are really good with Cachaça. I really like both. But for me, I prefer Monster, so Monster is my choice with Cachaça, I will acknowledge. That's kind of what I prefer with it. Yeah, my answer to the question posed in the title of the video. I'm buzzed. My question, I'm really buzzed. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very buzzed. I gotta take a piss. Oh my goodness. I'm buzzed though. I'm very buzzed. And I just realized man. I'm gonna go take a piss and I'll be back. I'm gonna finish off the video after going to take a piss. I'll be back, y'all. Oh. How's it going, y'all? We are back. I went and took a piss, checked on the FIFA game going on right now. I totally thought Brazil was gonna have a goal or something like that kind of thing, but it's 16 minutes in, or it was 16 minutes in. It's probably like 18 minutes now, and it's still 0-0. So I guess the cheers were from like quick like maneuvers, or from like close chances or something like that kind of thing. But I certainly was hearing some cheers a little while ago. I think I'll have to take a look at the game once I run back inside as well, I'll acknowledge. I've never been so enthusiastic about soccer like ever before. I am not a soccer person, but seeing the enthusiasm from everybody else here in Brazil, I'm like, man, I kind of want to get excited about it. Like, this is really cool. I really like this kind of thing. I want to get excited about this. This is awesome. Like I don't even watch like the Super Bowl. I'm not a sports person, but here I am getting excited about sports. I got no complaints. On my behalf, I will acknowledge. None at all. No complaints on my behalf. But no, overall, I gotta admit, I've had an amazing time today. To answer the question posed in the title of this video, which is better with Cachaça, Brazil's national liquor? With this Cachaça right here, Cachaça 51 to be precise, which is better, Monster or Red Bull? Having had full cans of both, and having had multiple mixed drinks of both, I prefer Monster personally. I do prefer the Monster with Cachaça, I will acknowledge, but it's really just comes down to personal preference. Like, if you prefer Red Bull and you prefer Red Bull mixed drinks, you're probably going to prefer Red Bull with Cachaça, but if you prefer Monster mixed drinks like I do, you're probably going to prefer Monster. I found the Monster to cover up the flavor of the Cachaça a little bit more than the Red Bull, but if you like the flavor of your liquor to shine through a little bit more, I think Red Bull is going to be what you want. If you want the liquor flavor to be covered up a little bit more, then I think Monster is going to be what you want. Honestly, both are really good, but because the Monster is my personal preference, I'm going to have to say that Monster is the best energy drink of the two I tried today with Cachaça, Brazil's national liquor. Absolutely no complaints, I will acknowledge. Absolutely no complaints. And that's the answer that I have to the question posed in the title of this video. That's my answer right there. It's Monster. That's the answer I have. Hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video today. I know I've had a great time making this video. It's been a lot of fun. It's my final day here in Brazil. I've had an amazing time here in Brazil. It's been super fun being here, seeing what's going on, trying lots of new things, trying Cachaça for the very first time and everything like that. And, I've had a great time during this video, and I hope you guys have enjoyed watching. If you guys have enjoyed watching, of course, I've had a great time today. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself, and I hope you guys have enjoyed watching. I just knocked the table just a little bit. Appreciate all y'all watching today's video, though. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to check out my new poetry book, Poems to Read While Smoking Cigarettes, linked in the description and comments down below. Available now for $14.99. It's a great purchase that I do highly recommend, and I'm just now realizing that I completely forgot to grab not a thumbnail with my book, which is what I was about to say, but I completely forgot to do the sponsored segment for my book at the beginning of this video. So I am going to make a sponsored segment after this video to put into the front of the video. Got to do it, you know what I'm saying? Got to do it. Got to promote the new poetry book just a little bit. And if you guys would like to read my new poetry book, Poems to Read While Smoking Cigarettes, well, of course, I do highly recommend that you check it out and pick it up if you're so inclined. Available now, as said, on Amazon for $14.99. Go check it out. Links in the description and comments down below. As said, like, subscribe. Let me know what y'all's opinion is. Which pairs better with Cachaça to you? Monster or Red Bull? Which pairs better to you? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And until the next one, I heard some yells, and there were some screams, and then they all of a sudden went away. I don't know what just happened, but I don't feel like it was good. I don't feel like it was good. I don't know what happened, but I have no idea. I don't feel like it was good, though. But appreciate y'all watching today's video. I just got so distracted. I'm going to go take a look at what's going on with the FIFA game. And I'm going to go have a great rest of my night. And I hope y'all are going to have a great rest of y'all's day, night, afternoon, morning, whatever it may be for y'all. Appreciate all y'all watching today's video. Until the next one, stay safe and peace. And have a great one. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying?